screen stop sharing.
Good afternoon, dear all. I, Dr. Beena, Secretary of Women's Doctors Wing, Indian Medical Association, Nedumbassery, welcome you all to this afternoon's interesting session on stress management during exams for our students and parents. At the outset, I would like to read out the message from our IMA President, Dr. Vivek Kamath. Dear parents, exam-going students of class 9 to 12, our eminent speaker of the day, Dr. Reshmy, WDW members, dear colleagues of IMA, and friends. Let me at the outset welcome you all to today's interesting and important talk by Dr. Reshmy on stress management. Before that, I would like to say a few words about Indian Medical Association. It was formed in the year 1928 with 222 members. It has grown on to have more than 3.5 lakh members. It is interesting to know that IMA is a founder member of the World Medical Association. I would like to congratulate our Women Doctors Wing for arranging the talk at the right time on stress. On behalf of IMA, I extend my best wishes to the students appearing for exams and hope that many of you become doctors and join Indian Medical Association. With these few words, I conclude my speech. Jai Hind. Thank you, Dr. Vivek, for this welcome speech. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce and welcome our eminent speaker, Dr. Reshmy Krishnan, to this session, very important session on stress management during exams. Dr. Reshmy Krishnan, who is having 29 years of teaching experience, is currently working as head of research and associate professor in Muscat College, Oman. She has been awarded postdoctoral fellowship in 2013 from University of Stirling, UK, after she completed her PhD in 2006. She has achieved fellowship in teaching and learning with Higher Education Academy UK in 2019. She's serving as a program reviewer with the Ministry of Higher Education, Research and Innovation in Oman, and as a member of Board of Directors with the Oman Association for Quality in Higher Education with Ministry of Social Affairs. She was the IT Academic Council member of Board of Directors, Indian Schools from 2017 to 2021, Sultanate of Oman, and member of advisory boards in various universities in Oman and India. She has many awards to her credit. Best National Research Award in 2014 from Research Council Oman, prestigious Women Icon Indian Global Award from Governor of Tamil Nadu in 2019, Distinguished Educator and Scholar Award on 5th September 2020 from National Foundation for Entrepreneurship, Distinguished Women in Engineering Award for the initiatives and developments in the field of computer science and engineering in 2018. She was the head of the Department of Computing till 2017 September in Muscat College and acted as chair of Industry and Community Engagement Committee 2017 to 2021 and is now serving as head of Research Center. She has 11 book chapters, 13 funded projects, and 443 citations in her research profile. She is the author of the book Computer Programming. She has organized more than 50 conferences, workshops, and has been keynote speaker in more than 60 seminars, workshops, and conferences at the national and international levels. Dr. Reshmy's passion includes community services also, and she has initiated more than 15 community services in Oman. Majority of Indian schools in Oman have invited her as resource person for career guidance and awareness programs in student orientation and parent orientation programs. She is running her media production, Raw and Deal, on social media to broadcast educational programs and interview series. We are very fortunate to have Dr. Reshmy along with us today, this afternoon, for this very interesting and important session on just at the time when the exams are at our doorstep. So I would welcome Dr. Reshmy, and I would request all of you to put in your questions in the chat box, and we could discuss it later after the session. Welcome, Dr. Reshmy.
Good afternoon, my dear children and their parents. Today we are here to discuss some points about exam fear, because now this is the exam time. All of us are scared about this time. All of us are stressed, especially the children, whoever is in the schooling. You cannot eat well, you cannot sleep well, you feel sleepy and tired in the morning. And as a result, you are getting annoyed with your parents, especially to moms, isn't it? Not only students, but parents are also, especially mothers, are also so stressed because of this exam. In fact, nobody is, all of us are passing through this stage. It is said that even Albert Einstein was also the one who suffered from exam fever when he appeared for an entrance exam. I appreciate the organizers of this session, Women Doctors Wing, IMA, Indian Medical Association, Nedumbassery, Chairperson Dr. Lekha Gopal, Secretary and Moderator Dr. Beena Harikrishnan for organizing this wonderful session at the proper time, because this is the right time to share the awareness about this. So now I am moving on to my slide presentation. So I'm starting my slide presentation, that is exam fever, take a chill pill and beat it. It's a nice caption, right? So we are going to discuss a few points about this exam fear, that is what is it, why and how it can be controlled, and some few exam tips also. Hope it will be useful for you, especially this time. So what is this exam fear? What is this exam fear? If I am asking you, everybody knows what is exam fear, but to define it, we can say it is a phenomenon which is carried by everyone in this world. Because there is no one in this world who likes examination. That's a fact, isn't it? Nobody likes. Me, you, and your parents, nobody likes. But the most funny thing is, none of us can live without facing this examination in life. Every stages of life we are facing it in different forms. A normal stress about exam is in fact good only, because if I don't have any stress, I don't have any seriousness about exam, that's not good. A normal range of stress is good only. But if you regularly become excessively nervous before or during an examination, then you can say you may have exam phobia or you have exam fever. So it is extremely terrible as it affects one psychologically, socially, emotionally, and cognitively. So we will see why this is happening. In fact, this fear is happened because of anxiety, isn't it? We are anxious about the result of the examination. You just think, you just analyze why this stress is coming, why this exam fear is coming. You will find out the answer that because of the anxiety only. Because we are anxious about the result of the examination. Oh my God, what will happen when the result comes, especially in front of parents? This is the most worry of all the students. Just think. Similarly, in our daily life also, this is thing. When we are going for a driving test, we'll think, oh my God, if I fail, what will happen? What will happen? That's the second time again I have to go. I have to repeat all the process. So by thinking itself, we'll be stressed. Otherwise, if we are going for a medical test, we are saying, oh, what will happen? The result is negative or positive. What will happen if we go for an entrance examination? So, etc., etc. Different stages of our life, we are facing this examination, and everywhere we are thinking about, we are having the anxiety about the result of this examination. So in a survey, it is seeing that around 66% of students admitted that their parents pressurize them for better academic performance. We know that. So no need to go for any survey and all in our surrounding, in our house itself. Even all, including me, all the parents, we are pressurizing the students for getting better performance, isn't it? So although a little bit of pressure can be a good thing, as I mentioned earlier, a little bit of pressure is good only. If you don't have any seriousness, no problem, no seriousness, that's not good. So little bit of pressure is good only, but that little bit of pressure, it motivates the students to work hard. But more pressure, excessive pressure is not a good thing. Exams can make our stress alarms go out, which can stop students from performing their best. Hence, it is imperative to address it and get it back under control. We are checking this examination is required. This evaluation is required. This is a serious question, isn't it? I think all of us or all of you might have thought about this. Is it required? I'm saying that if all of us are given an option to ask God, surely all of us, especially this time, all the students will ask only one question. Please, no exams. We don't want exams. Please do something to stop this exam, isn't it? That is the only question. That much we are scared about the examination. And that much you don't like examination. But have you ever thought why this examination system? Is the system is required? What will happen if it is not there? Have you ever thought like that? Listen, I'm taking to you some points now. Then after that, you just tell me whether this evaluation system is required or not. Okay. How I know, suppose now I am talking to you. I am taking this session to you. But how I know that it is effective? How I know that how many of you are understanding what I am telling? How I know how many of you are getting some idea about it? I need to ask you, isn't it? I need to ask you. That is, asking is an evaluation. It's a testing. That means you should be evaluated. So for knowing the impact of any session, impact of any process, we need to evaluate the students, isn't it? So this is the situation in school also. See, many students are studying with you in your school. You know that in one class, how many students? So totally you just calculate in 1 year, how many students are studying? Totally, how many students are studying in all classes all over the world, isn't it? So many are there. And you are learning different subjects. New skills are developed. New knowledges, new informations you are understanding. And students are conceiving the knowledge in different scales. See, same teacher is teaching you one subject, but 40 students in your class, they are conceiving it in different way. The level of understanding is different for different students, isn't it? So students are having skills in different scales. But how this will be understood by the teacher or by the world? Because we should know this student's understanding capability is the best, or his understanding capability is the best, or this student X is having more capability in another skill. So this, if we understood, or if we need some evidence, some proof for this, we need an evaluation system, isn't it? Some evaluation is required. So that is the examination. That is why we are saying this examination or evaluation is required. That is why this examination is conducted. But the problem is how this evaluation can be conducted. Different methods different techniques we can be used. So that is a debate topic. How these assessments, how this evaluation can be conducted, how children should be assessed. But I am not coming to that point, but I am telling whether this evaluation is required or not. So it is understood that evaluation is required. But only thing is how the methods of conducting the evaluation may be different, or we can say that different students, we cannot conduct the same method for all students. Yes, we can agree for that. But anyway, that is not our topic today. So the method of evaluation can be different, I told you, because every child has its own talent. So if we judge a fish based on its capability to fly or climb on a tree, is it a fair assessment? No, it's not a correct assessment, isn't it? So, but here in schooling system, currently this is the evaluation system. Unfortunately, we don't have any control because this is designed and it is decided by central education system is there and we cannot control it. So whatever we can do, we will do. So later on, so gradually things are changing. So here, for example, Indian system examination evaluation system is also getting changed actually in the new scheme, new plan. The evaluation system is also getting changed. Curriculum is changing, evaluation system is changing. So gradually changes are coming. So here our topic point is, yes, evaluation is required to assess your understanding of knowledge. So without examination, how it is possible? So I'm not mentioning about the final examination, all examination. Okay, I'm not focusing on the final examination, telling about all examination. Examination is possible. And any form of evaluation is required for this also. We will see in examination, what are the things will be evaluated. So we are giving normally in the examination, you are given a fixed time, a duration 2 hours or 3 hours. During that time, how much you can act quickly. These are the topics are analyzed. These are the skills. Actually, these are your capabilities. Okay, how much you can respond or how much you can act quickly, because these questions are without when you are not getting these questions before, isn't it? So after sitting in the exam hall only you are getting this question. So when you are getting a situation, how you will respond quickly, that is also we are analyzing through this examination. And how much is your knowledge and how you can analyze a question. See, sometimes a question will be asked, different students are analyzing in different ways. Okay, so this analyzing capacity is also we are evaluating, and your ability to apply knowledge, because nowadays we can we know that 10th grade or 12th grade like that, especially physics, and so many application questions are asking. That means you are studying something, but you need to apply that knowledge into some case studies, some scenarios. So your ability to apply knowledge is also getting evaluated there. And your understanding of key concept. All these things are, these are the capabilities of a student. These are skills of a student. These skills or capabilities are being evaluated during examination. Okay. And we'll see what is the reason for this exam stress or fever. The major reason of the fear is anxiety. This already we mentioned, the anxiety towards the result after the examination. If you also just focus, just analyze what can be the reason of my stress, you just think calmly, you will find out the answer, anxiety. Some other reasons are also there, but this is the major reason. The other reasons can be low motivation levels, lack of preparation and planning, high expectation from others, competition from peers. All these reasons lead to stress. See, for example, no, we are thinking, you are thinking, if I don't get 80% marks in the final exam, oh my God, what will happen? If you are a 10th student, you will say, if I am not getting good mark, how will I get the next specialization, my favorite specialization, isn't it? Or if you are a 12th student, you may think that how I will get good admission in good university or college if I don't get a good percentage. More than you, your parents will think. So they will pass that stress to you. So all this, the anxiety will lead to the fear, exam fear, stress. So stress is caused by unrealistic and very high expectations. If you observe, mainly anxiety is generated from negative thoughts only. You just think, if I don't get 80%, if I don't pass, if I don't get, see, if I am don't, all these are the negative thinking. See, it's negative thoughts only. If I fail, if I don't remember, oh my God, what will happen? But how this negative thinking is coming? Actually, it is not a new thing. It is not suddenly coming. It's our character. That's all. So all of us, me, you, your parents, all are used with it. That is, from childhood onwards, we are repeatedly doing this. If children are doing something, parents say, don't do that, don't do that, don't do. So usually that is the pattern all parents are telling, isn't it? So that's why, so that negative thoughts are conveyed to the students also, to the children also from the childhoods. That's why we are telling in the parenting, in the childhood, actually, we should practice to think positively. Because our brain will copy whatever we are continuously thinking. That is the nature of our brain. Whatever we are frequently, repeatedly we are doing, that will be copied by our brain. And that will become a habit. So these repeated actions will become a habit. This is the nature. This is the structure of our neurons in our brain. So in the childhood itself, consciously you have to practice to think positive. At least in the examination, after this session, you have to think, please don't think anything negative. Because in this time, if you're thinking negative also, there is no use of it. So think positively. I will pass. I will get good mark. I will get admission in college or universities. Okay. So think positively like that. So if you are thinking positively itself, you can feel that the stress will be reduced. You will be relieved from stress. Little, the stress will be reduced. So what's the point? I'm trying to say that if we can change our negative thoughts, we can reduce the stress. Analyze your thoughts. Identify which thought causes more stress and then try to remove it. That's the best way I can say you. Make this as a practice. So at least this is the examination. Exam is in March. We are starting examination. It's very near. So at least this time itself, you just start practicing. Consciously, you just don't think if any negative thoughts are coming, consciously you just remove it. No, I will pass. I will get good mark. I will get admission good universities. My parents will be proud of me. So please think positively like that. At least the stress can be relieved. Let us see some reasons, the science behind this stress, and what are the impact of this, how this impact is coming. What's the reason, scientific reason? So I'm taking excuse from the doctors because I'm not an expert to tell about this, but a few points I'm telling. If you feel fear, stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline are released. These are the stress hormones. Cortisol, you might have known, it's a primary stress hormone which increases your heart rate and blood pressure. Because this production of this hormone is more, our heart rate and blood pressure will be increased. That is why we are saying when we are getting stress, our BP is increased. The pulse, heart pulse is getting increased, isn't it? So this is the reason how it is happening. Similarly, one more important scientific process is happening in our brain. There is a part of the brain which handles emotions. It is called amygdala. It is started to respond fast. Actually, this part of the brain, it helps to define and regulate emotions. They also preserve memories and attach those memories to specific emotions. This is the part of the brain which is the reason for all our emotions, whether it is happy or sadness or joyous emotions, whatever it is. So you know what is happening, and this will control these memories also, emotional remembrance also. You know, when we are getting stressed, this part of brain, it started to respond fast. So what is the result? It reduces the learning capability, and it will affect the memory. So we cannot see at the last stage, if you are very stressed, if you are just reading the book, nothing will be registered in your brain. You cannot memorize, you cannot remember anything. At that time, what you are learning, nothing you cannot remember at the in the examination hall. Okay, if you are getting stressed. So this is the reason for it. So as a result of this, what are the impact are coming? It increased the heartbeat, it increased the blood pressure, it reduced the learning capacity, it reduced the memory capacity. So all these are the impact because of this amygdala, that part, because it starts to respond very fast. So what is the solution? how we can overcome the stress. So we should understand there are two types of things in life. That's a fact. We should accept it, isn't it? What are they? Controllable and uncontrollable. So controllable means we cannot control. So that why we need to stress about it? Why we need to think about it? It is meaningless. But some things we can control. So only that part we have to manage it. So let us see what are in our control regarding this topic. See, I'm focusing only this topic, isn't it? So let us see what is controllable things. That is preparation, attitude, time management, effort, and expectation. All these emotions or all these tasks or all these items are controllable. We can manage, we can control it. So whatever we can control, we need to focus more, isn't it? Here, first of all, I am going to tell about the preparations because that is the most important thing based on this topic. So in preparation is the main key. It is the key. To perform well anywhere, preparation is required, isn't it? See, for example, today I am taking a session for you. Just imagine, I am thinking that, okay, no need of any preparation. See, during that time, whatever I am remembering, I will tell. Yes, I can tell something, but it will not be an effective thing. All the points cannot be covered, isn't it? I cannot remember all the points. So that the flow of the talk will not be there. So all these are the impact of the presentation if I am not prepared well. So preparation, there is no shortcut for, there is no replacement for this preparation. Practice, practice, practice. That is the only mantra for this. And there is a, there's a small key for this preparation that is called unique. Unique. U means use your head. That means use your brain. The first letter indicates you, use your brain. That means if we use different colors to write notes, when we are writing short notes and all, use different colors. See, this is before the examination. During the preparation stage, how you can prepare. That's what I'm telling. So when you're preparing, it's a good advice, it's a good practice to prepare small notes. When you are preparing notes itself, if you are using different colors, brain will recognize it because normal pattern you are writing using blue color. Instead, in between the important points, you are writing red or green or purple or like that. So the brain will catch it. Brain will recognize it. That means you will not forget it. Okay, so that is the first one. Use your brain. Second one is N. N is for note. Whenever you are studying, all the students, please write short notes, write key points. So brain will remember only related things. So when you are writing these key points, relate this to some examples. Or see, you are learning about a concept. So whatever is the key point of that concept, you just write a note. So when you see this note, this point, the brain will remember what is the concept behind it. Brain can relate the things. And next one is I. I means interval. So don't study continuously. It is not possible for you. From morning to evening, nobody can study like that. So take interval, frequent interval. Doesn't mean that 5 minutes you will study, half an hour you are taking interval. It's not, I'm not meaning that one. So half an hour you study, take some 5 minutes interval because the brain should be refreshed. Okay. And during that time, I am not saying that during that time go and take the mobile and go to the social media and checking it. So you see, it's always better to sit calm. That maybe you can listen some music. Okay, you can close your eyes and you can relax sometime for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Like in between, take intervals. It's good practice. Next letter is Q. That is very important. Practice sample questions. See, my dear children, you know one thing, whatever you are studying, you need to prepare how to answer the question which is asked, isn't it? So the way of asking question you should be aware. From where you will get this the sample of the question pattern? From the previous year questions, from sample questions. So that is why we are saying you practice sample questions. If you study, see, during the school days, if you are not during the examination, so before that you must have learned chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, like that. So you must have known the lessons in a not 100%, maybe some 70% like that. If you know, then I am advising you, please check your sample questions, previous questions, because you will be knowing in what way the question will be asked. Sometimes we will learn everything, but we don't know how to answer the question. If we are not answering the question, then we will not get mark also. No, we can, if we are telling teacher, I know this, all these things, but then if you are not representing, if you are not reflecting your knowledge in your paper, you will not get mark, isn't it? So practice for making this process easier, more effective, then practice sample questions. Why? So what is the impact of this? You will be familiar with the pattern of questions, in what way the questions will be asked. For example, chapter 4, what type of questions will be asked? No, you will be familiar. So you can ask that. That is a smart learning. Okay, so I am not advising you for the hard learning. I advise you for the smart learning only. So, and see, for this, I am advising you, take last 5 years of questions. So nowadays, so many assessments are there. So at least 3 years of questions you can take. Take last 5 or 3 years of questions. Normally 80% of questions are from the previous year questions. So that is a question design secret also. Teachers or the university, they are doing like that. Okay, 80% of questions are from the previously asked questions. So if you know this is the questions from chapter 5, see, from chapter 5, when you are repeatedly checking some previous year questions, you can, in one point of time, you will find out the questions are getting repeated. Okay, so this is the only possible questions coming from chapter 5. So you can be confident. Okay, and next letter U, that is understand the concept. See, previously when we were studying long back, we didn't get any media for understanding the concept. Nowadays, you are very lucky, because if you want to know, for example, you want to know, you want to learn about trigonometry. So now trigonometry everywhere. What is the concept? What is the application of trigonometry? Everything is there in the internet. So many forums are there, isn't it? So many apps are there. And so many educational apps are there, forums are there, discussions are there, so many YouTubes are there. Everything is there. Very, very beautifully they are explaining the concept. So it is very useful for you. So please understand the concept. Please don't memorize anything. Understand the concept. You will not forget. And the last letter is E. That is small exercises in between. That is some physical exercises, that is for stretching, long breathing, like that. Some small exercises is also very useful during your study time, exam study time. Okay, when you are taking intervals, you can just try for the small exercises also. So these are the some tips. So these are the some techniques you can use for the preparation. And as I mentioned you, these are the controllable things. Preparation is in your control. You can control. So it's a controllable thing. So what are uncontrollable things? I told you there are two types of things are there, controllable and uncontrollable, isn't it? So what are uncontrollable things? That is rank, score, gold medal, admission. These are, you cannot, you don't have any control in that. Then why we need to worry about it? So whatever you can control, you focus on it. So do a good preparation. That is, keep in mind all these small tips what I have given to you. Please keep in mind. You will get gold medal. You will get good admission. All these things will come one by one. And next slide, I am going to give you some preparation tips. Some preparation tips. That is, one is called mind mapping. I am going to show you a slide of mind mapping. Have you seen this slide, this picture? That is, this is a method of learning your courses. That is, for example, you are studying about one concept. Okay, so the central one, you can write that name of the concept. Then here you can write what are the projects, what are the goals, or what are the applications of that concept, or what are the mechanisms, or what are the details of this one. Like that, all the details of that particular concept through picture, you can just in a small note, you can prepare a small picture about this. And trust me, you will not forget if you are doing like this, a concept. Don't memorize any sentence. Don't memorize any sentence from your tuition book or from your textbook. Don't do that one. Instead of that, try to understand the concept. For example, trigonometry. Sender, you write the trigonometry. Okay, and write what is the application, what are the important equations, what are the different types of equations, any categories are there. Write all the details through a pictorial representation. So this is called a mind mapping. Similarly, another method is called a concept mapping. See, again, concept we are writing in the center, and we are writing different details, the techniques or categories or applications, everything we are through picture we are representing. So concept mapping or mind mapping, this is this method of learning. The other point is diagrams. For each and every concept, draw diagrams. And see, for memorizing, you can use any technique. There is no logic for that. If you are connecting this a concept to a rhyme, or if you are connecting this concept to a story, to a poem, which you are interested, do that. Absolutely, there is no rule for that. Don't do that. No. You can. There's no logic for that. You can do whatever you like, whatever you are comfortable, whatever you are confident, whatever you are interested. Okay. Similarly, another thing, connect with real life examples. If you are studying with trigonometry, you just understand or just try to understand where is the application of trigonometry in our real life. If you are connecting concept to the real life example, you will not forget it. Because in real life, every day we are getting practice with that, right? So if you are connecting the idea, the concept with real-time examples, you will not forget it. Just to try it. And another thing is understand the application, understand the concept. I already mentioned, please don't memorize anything. You will not remember anything in the exam hall if you memorize, believe me. Instead of that, just try, understand the applications. See, for understanding the concept, you can see any YouTube, you can see any apps, whatever methods are there in the internet, you just go for it. No problem for that. You can, group discussion also helps you. That is, but a group discussion, the thing is you need to discuss only about the courses only, don't discuss anything else. Okay, so usually we will sit for a group discussion, and except this learning, we will discuss all other things, films or musics or whatever about the Instagram reels and all other things we will discuss except this one. Don't do that. I didn't mean that one. So group discussion means you have to discuss about some concept. So let some 3 are there or 4 are there in a group. Each one of you can tell whatever they know about one. You will not forget it because you are hearing it, isn't it? So instead of reading, see the same thing, if you are reading, if you are hearing, and if you are seeing it, different impact is there. Okay, if you are seeing, visualizing thing, you will never forget. If you are listening also, that audio also will good impact than that is the texts. So if you are reading some lines, if you are reading, it is easy to forget. But if you are seeing a picture, or if you are listening some audio clips, you will not forget it. That is the reason. Okay. And similarly, focus at one thing at a time. When you are studying, oh, I am studying physics. Oh my God, I didn't study anything maths. Okay, and I am going to the maths. Then I will think biology, that is there, that is pending. Then I am thinking English, this is, don't do that. Nothing will come to your mind. So focus at one thing at a time, and focus at the present moment also. Another very important technique, so previously also I mentioned that diagrams, pictorial representation, that is, it is called visualization technique. You know, the visualization is the most important media or visualization. Picture is the most important technique or media which help us to remember things. We will not forget it. If you are seeing a picture, then we will not. That is why we are saying the important concept. Through mind mapping, you can make a pictorial representation. You will not forget. This is the technique behind that. Similarly, another thing also we can say, for reducing stress, you can visualize some positive things. You just visualize after the exam, you are getting high score, you are getting gold medal. Now all these things, so steps, you can reduce stress. That is also technique, visualization technique. So good thinking and visualization can reduce stress. That is another thing. In the preparation also, when you are preparing thing also, draw whatever concept are there, just try to make a pictorial representation. It is it helps you to remember things in examination hall. You will not forget it. Similarly, before the examination also some preparations is needed. That means this is the time before the examination. Now you are preparing, isn't it? So if you can prepare well in the morning, so see, some are very comfortable in morning only, but some are comfortable in the late night. So if you feel that you can concentrate well in the morning, well, do that. Do most of your studying before lunch. You can learn more, your brain will be more active maybe before in the morning time. So do that. Don't do anything in the late night. But if you prefer studying at late night, then do it. But doesn't mean that always ensure that you have to go to bed at a reasonable, it's a reasonable hour. Okay, so if you are studying late night, okay, then take 7 hours, 6 hours. So like that, you have to make sure that you are getting a comfortable time for sleeping. That's very important. You are getting enough sleep. Whether it is a early morning study or late night study, the sleeping time should be fixed, and you should not. You have to ensure that you are getting enough sleep. Similarly, another technique you can try, answering questions from past exam papers. Again, sample exam papers. I told you that's the best technique. Collect some previous year question paper. All teachers are telling, schools are telling, but I'm not sure how many of you are doing that. Maybe in the tuition classes, teachers are insisting you, but still, this is the first technique you have to use. You have to practice, collect sample previous year question papers and answer it. Also, another technique you can try, you can just try explaining some question answers to your close friends. So when you are explaining, you will realize what you can explain, what you cannot explain, what you can respond, reflect, and what you cannot reflect. Okay, you will realize it. So if you are able to explain the things, that is your core thing, what you understood. So that is also a good technique in the preparation before examination. And write down everything you feel. That doesn't mean that all the essays you have to write down. No, I didn't mean that one. So I am telling in the preparation, please prepare small notes. So that mind mapping technique, you can use it. It's a very, very good technique actually. Like that, you have to prepare notes. So that is before examination. And you can use any relaxation technique. Maybe you can, in between, you can listen music, you can try painting if you are comfortable with that, if you are interested with music or painting or long breathing exercise, some relaxation technique, any relaxation technique you have to use in between. And even a shower also can help you to relieve stress. Okay, during the study time, from morning to evening, your full focus is that. So in between, you have to try some relaxation technique also for reducing stress. Next is, let us see what is happening during the examination. That is very important. So these are some tips actually I would like to highlight. During the examination, we know that you are entering the examination, teacher will be there. And after entering the examination, if you are too much stress, please take a deep breath. It will help to reduce the stress, because at that time we cannot use any other relaxation. We cannot listen music. We cannot listen any, we cannot try any painting, any other relaxation technique. We cannot. So this is the only technique, isn't it? Take a deep breath. It's a relaxation technique. Because if you are stressed, whatever you have learned also you cannot represent there. So we have to reduce it. And when you are getting this answer sheet, usually teachers are issuing the answer sheet. After some time only they will give the question. So when you are getting this answer sheet, you are getting some time. Use that time to first write the registration number correctly. That's very important. Very, very important. Whatever knowledge you are having, but somebody should evaluate it. Based on your registration number only, the process will happen. So write the registration number correctly. Double check it, and I'm advising you during that time, some gap you will get, maybe some 5 minutes you will get, draw the margins with the different colors. Different colors means if you are going to write the examination with blue ink, you can put the margin with black or green or red, like that. I am not insisting red or green, because some exam they will not allow it, but please ask your teacher. If it is allowed, use different colors for margin, because it will give you a neat look in the answer sheet. Put the answer, put the question number correctly. That is very important. When you are writing, please avoid more corrections. So they are cutting, and that is whitener is using, cutting, so many corrections. Please avoid it, because the person who is evaluating should get an impression about the answer. That is very, very important. See, whatever you are reflecting in your paper, that should be evaluated good way, isn't it? It should be evaluated properly. So your answer sheet should catch the attention. That is very important. For avoiding that, a neat look should be there for the answer sheet. Okay, put the question number correctly. Avoid more corrections, especially first few pages. Please don't do any corrections. It should be in very good handwriting. It should be very neatly also. Then itself an impression will come. Okay, and write very neatly. Underline important points. That's very important. Some key points are there. Some definitions. So some points are there. Please underline it with the different color ink. If you are writing with blue ink, underline with black or red or green, like that. Then another question for big questions like 3-mark question or 5-mark question, or if more than that, 7 or 9. For big questions, please draw the pictures, even though it is not asked. Sometimes it may not ask the pictures. Sometimes clearly it will. But even though it is not asked, please include pictures for big questions. I'm not telling about 1-mark or 2-mark questions. No. 3-mark also, little bit roughly you can draw. But especially for 5-mark, 7-mark, like that, big questions, you have to include the pictures. Why I am saying this? In the writing, if you are missing some points also, but by seeing this picture, the evaluator will understand that the student has knowledge about it. No, you will get mark. So draw the picture, include pictures for big questions. And another thing, it is not compulsory that in the same order you have to answer the question. After 1, I should write 2, 3. No, it is not at all compulsory. See, after the first question, the another question, you are more confident. Go and attend it, but put the correct question number correctly. Okay, so that one. So whichever is more confident, you answer them correctly. Then come to the other thing. But another thing is there, but focus is, give focus more to the big questions. Because some 1-mark question, 2-mark questions are there. So if you are thinking more time about this 1-mark question and 2-mark question, the big questions, you will not get time. So don't do that one, isn't it? So give more priority to the big questions. Make sure that all the big questions are answered properly. Then you can come to the short question. So small, that is a 1-mark question or 2-mark question, like that. And one important thing, try to complete writing 15 minutes before the end time. So if examination is from 2 to 4, 3:45, please start please stop writing your examination 15 minutes before stop writing, because the remaining 15 minutes is to just revise. So you have to read what you have written here. That's very important. Now in this second revision, second reading, you can correct so many things. So these are the things that is very, so 15 minutes or 20 minutes before you have to plan like that. Okay, so before 15 or 20 minutes, you have to stop writing it, and the remaining time, make sure that one time you have to read all the answers and make sure that all the questions are answered and question numbers are correct and no points are missed like that. The remaining 20 minutes you can. So that is the proper thing. And the most ultimate, very, very important thing is, please don't try for any malpractices. That I think teachers will give you the proper advice and guidance. I'm not going to that much detail, but don't try for any malpractice. It will spoil your future. That is the single word impact of it. It will spoil your future. Okay, so please don't think about it. And after the examination, don't ask other people how they have done in the examination. So that's all. So after the examination, you can, so these are the tips you can follow during the examination. Then after the examination, what you can do, please don't ask others how they have done in the examination. Anyway, you have done, you have completed your examination, isn't it? You have done your best and you cannot go back. Then why unnecessary you are getting stressed? Oh, my friend, he has written well, and oh my God. So why you are getting, anyway, you cannot change it. So you cannot change your answers also. So just forget it and just focus on the next exam. Okay, so after the examination. So this is these are the guidance to the students. To the parents also, there is a great role of parents and teachers in this one. So they can support the students. In what way? Let us see. Help your child to create a study timetable. So there's a sufficient time to revise the subject. You can also help your students. You can support or you can just guide. So I am not advising, please go and sit with them. Please don't do that. Let them study. Let them be independent. Please don't go behind of them. But you can just give a support, or you can have a supervision what they are doing. That's all. That is the only role of you. So assist the child in revising the study material. Maybe if they need some help for getting the material or some YouTube, some resources, you can help them. That is the support. Provide adequate and nutritious food to keep them fit and healthy. That's very important. That is the role of the parents. No, sleeping time is very important. Food is very important. And make sure that the study environment is very healthy. Okay, in the home also, they are getting a good environment. So so that is the role of parents. And monitor your child's sleeping pattern and make sure they are getting adequate rest and emotional support. You can provide them much needed assurance and emotional support for your child to overcome their apprehensions. One thing you have to remember, nowadays, one exam result will not decide your son or daughter's future. There are so many evaluations are there. So based on one examination result, their future is not changed. Okay, so maybe the previous exam pattern was like that. Nowadays, it's not like that. Even some university admissions, some employment are not only based on the exam result. They are doing so many discussions, interviews, so many evaluations they are taking. Then based on their skills and their talents and their capability are properly evaluated, then only a proper placement or a proper admission they are getting. So one exam result will not affect their future. That is important, but that is not the only matter. If you are keeping this in mind, your stress also can be reduced. It will reflect in your child stress also. So that is the end of today's session. I hope you got some points. And if you have any question and answers, You can put it in the chat box. I got some questions. See, for writing in the chat box, you can select question and answer section on the top right and type the question. Okay, in the screen, you can see on the right question and answer. There is an icon, a question mark is there. Okay, so select that question and answer. And then you can type the questions. So one question I got. This is one. I forget what I learned. What should I do? This is a normal question. So all these tips I told you, I discussed with you for not forgetting the things only. Okay, just to try this mind mapping method and all. Mind mapping means some points. So don't get stressed. So see you to so many topics. Don't get stressed like that. There's no use for it. Okay. So what you do, take physics today. What is the first exam? Take that one. Take chapter 1. What is the important thing? Write in a small smart note in a paper. Take chapter 2. Or another, so that way small notes you can prepare. And the best practice I am advising you, take previous year 3-year questions, 5-year questions. Understand the question pattern from each question, each chapter. Okay, try to answer for that one. And you call me. Trust me, if it is not work, you call me. Okay, I'm guaranteeing for this. I hope this addresses your question. Any other question you can write in question answer on the screen top. I think it is the third icon. Question mark is there, question answer. Click it, then start typing your questions. Okay. Parents also can type. Yeah. Okay, I can see. And I feel anxiety and I feel I can finish my exam by time. Yes. See, for this only I have given some tips. I hope you have listened that one. Okay. So plan. See, whatever you have learned, you have to reflect it in a paper, isn't it? Within the time. So that, how much you can reflect in the correct time, that is also an ability. That is also getting evaluated. So please plan your question. See, the tip for this is please don't write too much for 1 mark question. Don't write too much for 2 mark question. Okay, one paragraph is enough. Maybe maximum 2 paragraph is enough for 3 mark question. But another big questions are there, 5 mark question and 7 mark question. Okay, please try to include pictures and don't write 1 page or 2 page like that. When you are writing this 1 page or 2 page, no, it will take too much time and you cannot answer the other questions. So big questions, please try to include pictures. And maximum half page is enough for with a picture, half page or is enough for 5 mark question. Okay, so more than 5 mark, I don't know the exam pattern, 5 mark or 7 mark is there. You can plan like that. Okay, so that is very important. You have to plan how to answer. So that is the problem. So if you plan like this, you can feel you can finish your exam on time. So don't feel I cannot finish. As I mentioned, it's a negative thinking. Please don't think like that. Okay, think positively. You can finish it. Okay, so please think it like that. You can do it. If you are thinking I cannot, you cannot. So if you are repeatedly thinking negative thought, I told you, brain will adapt that. So that will happen. So please don't do that. You can do it. But accordingly and parallelly, you have to plan it also. Another question, whenever I take a book, I feel sleepy. What can I do to get rid of it? So 2 options are there. You sleep for some time. Please, moms, don't be angry to me. So if you feel sleepy, please sleep for some time. So after 10 minutes or 30 minutes, again, don't sleep. Keep an alarm. You just, then after 30 minutes, wake up and go for it. So you know why you are getting sleepy? Because you are not involved that. You are not focused to that. You are not interested in that. So for making it interest, see, you are in 12th standard and you are in 10th standard, you cannot think I am not interested, so I cannot study. So this is not the time for that. Okay, anyway, you are in 12th, you have taken your subject, you have to pass your examination. Okay. So what you should do, try to make the learning techniques more interesting. So that's some tips only now I have mentioned here. Please try to, you are good in drawing, try to draw some good pictures about a concept. You will not forget it. All your drawing interest, your capability, just reflect in that picture about a concept. So you can make it interesting. So try to, whatever way you can adapt. There is no, absolutely, there is no rule. This is the way you have to make it interesting. Any logic you can use. Okay. Or you are making like a poem. You are making it like a rhyme, or you are making like a story. Make it like that. Make it interesting. Okay. Any particular technique for appearing for MCQ with negative marking? Negative marking, the technique is, so you know why negative marking? That is, it analyze or it evaluates your confidence level about that one. Because usually the MCQ, what we are doing, closing the eye, whichever pen is there, that we are doing, isn't it? All are doing like that. So for preventing that only, they are putting the negative marking. So whatever you are confident, please do only that. Otherwise, negative marking will be there. Has the technology created more stress in today's lives? Technology, yes. Some way, technology has positive and negative sides. It helps to reduce stress, and the same way it creates stress also. But we have to decide which way we have to go. See how this technology is helping to reduce stress. We know nowadays this learning technology has provided so many learning methods. For understanding a concept, so many techniques are there. That is the contribution of the technology. Same time, it creates stress also. Yes. Always we are with this mobile, we are getting so many things, we are getting so many unwanted deviations are there. So it creates stress also, and we are not getting, children are not focused to the studies. That is the way it creates more stress. How can I reduce the pressure? I mean, which pressure you mean? See, blood pressure, again, because of the stress only, blood pressure is there. I know that you mean the stress. So these are the ways you can reduce. You can practice some relaxation techniques. Some can be music or whatever, drawing or dance or yoga, whatever you are interested, just practice it. In between, take intervals. Some, I think, hope you have listened some techniques I have mentioned here during the preparation. All these tips will help to reduce the pressure. How many subjects should we study or prepare in a day? That's a good question. See, I'm not saying a particular answer. See, it depends on you. That is, sometimes you are confident that one full day you are focusing on one subject. Some students, they are comfortable maybe till afternoon studying one subject, after that another subject, like that. It depends on your comfortable level only. Because in between, take a deviation to another subject is also good only. It is good only because continuously you are studying one subject, you are completing that subject, then you are going to another subject. I'm not saying that is the best practice, but some students prefer that. But same way, some students, they prefer, okay, some during morning to afternoon they are studying maths, afternoon to evening they are studying history, some light subject they are studying, like that, some tough and some light subject. That combination they used to take. So whichever is comfortable for you, you take it. There's no rule for that, how many subjects you should study. But there is one thing I can say you, instead of, say for example, 20 days you have study holidays. Okay, you have to plan at the starting of the study leaves. So this 20 days, you assume that you have 6 subjects. So some students, what they do, so totally 20 days are there, 6 subjects are there. So the first 3 subjects, we are dividing. The first 3 days I am studying one subject, next 3 1. So all these 20 days you are getting only one round of revision only. You are one time only you are studying. Instead of that, I advise you maybe 1.5 days in the initial planning. You can plan 2 times you have to learn. That is, one time you have to complete, second revision. How many times more you are revising, that much you will remember it. Okay, so you have to plan accordingly. The revision is very, very important. Revision and previous year question paper answering is very important. Trust me, you will get more than 80% of mark. You will get. So then. Yeah, parents say that if we don't get good marks, we will not get into good colleges or universities. How much is this true in this world? Actually, that's what. And the last word, if you, I don't know, you listen or not. Nowadays, all admissions are not based on a single mark. It's not like that. Previously, it was like that. But nowadays, all good universities or colleges, they are taking students based on different assessments. Okay, so one criteria is this one, final exam mark. That's all. Maybe the weightage is low. And they are assessing in some, maybe they are writing some communication skills, some interview skills, so many other skills they are evaluating. Based on more than one capability they are evaluating, and based on that only they are taking admission. So nowadays that is, so don't think that based on only final exam result they are getting admission. No. Any other questions? Any questions? I hope if anybody is having more questions, please type here. So thank you so much for your patience. And now this is the time for vote of thanks by Dr. Beena.
Thank you very much, Dr. Reshmy, for these wonderful tips you gave. It was very, very interesting. And I'm sure that our students and parents, they will definitely keep these tips in mind, and then they can sail through this difficult exam time smoothly. Thanks so much, Dr. Reshmy, for this wonderful session you gave us. So we don't see any more questions. So we will, before we conclude, I would like to thank each one of you, parents and students, for joining us this afternoon. And I need to extend my thanks to Indian Medical Association, Nedumbassery executive team led by Dr. Vivek Kamath, Women Doctors Wing team, Dr. Lekha, Dr. Shifana, Shiny George, and all those who supported us to make this a success by sharing it among the students and parents, so that our intention was to give maximum benefit to the exam going students. Thanks so much to all of you. And I would also like to thank Mrs. Sinu from Muscat College, who helped us in conducting this seminar so smoothly. Thank you all, and all the very best to all of you students. Thanks a lot. We'll conclude the session now.